This is the plaintiff, Jessica Wolf. She says she went to a steakhouse and they had valet parking, so she gave her car to one of the defendant's attendants and he parked it. She left her laptop in the back seat of the car, and when she got her car returned to her after dinner, the laptop was gone. When she called the defendant's valet company, they were very snippy with her on the phone. Well, if the defendant thinks she's going to go away quietly, he has another thing coming. Because she's not. She's here and she's suing for the $3,880 worth of stuff that was stolen. This is the defendant, Andres Bazan. He says first it was her laptop, then the next day it was also her iPod. Day after that, 35 softball uniforms, then her gym bag, too. The lady's obviously making these things up. Never claimed a thing was missing the night her car was parked, and he's sorry, but he's here, too, and he'll defend himself to the letter of the law. He's accused of employing sticky-fingered valets.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff went to a steakhouse, valeted her car, and then when she walked out and left, realized her computer was missing. But the defendant says she's such a scammer. She said 35 softball uniforms were stolen, changed to an iPod, and on and on. It's the case of, I have beef with a valet.
Thank you. Jessica Wolf?
Yes.
You are suing the valet company represented here by Andres Bazan. Are you the owner, the manager?
No, I'm supervising Westchester County accounts of the company.
Okay. And you have the authority to represent the company here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. For $3,880 in items that you say the company stole from you when they valeted your car. Tell me what's going on.
I went to Ruth Chris Steakhouse Saturday, November 26th. Earlier that day, I was at the library. I studied. I had
What library?
The Orangeburg Library in Rockland County.
Okay.
I had my laptop, a calculator, and the study books and materials in a black tote bag. So I studied, got into the car, put the laptop down. Later that night, we
Where'd
decided—
you put the laptop?
On the passenger side of the car.
Where'd you put the
passenger
rest
seat.
of the stuff you described?
It was in the bag. Everything was in the bag and put on the passenger side of
Okay.
the seat. Later that night, we decided we were going to go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse for dinner. We had reservations, I would say, around 8:30.
Who's we?
Me and my family.
Okay.
I picked up my brother, who got into the car. The bag was on the passenger seat. He moved the bag to the back seat of the car.
Okay.
We get to the restaurant.
What about the computer?
Everything was in the bag. In this
Oh, it was
black,
all inside the
right,
bag.
it's a
Okay.
black tote bag. It had everything in it.
Okay.
He moved it to the back seat of the car. We get to the restaurant. I'm a little hesitant. I see the valet. I really don't want to valet my car, not because I'm thinking stolen items, because of scratches and things like that. It's
What
an
kind of car do you
expensive
drive?
car. It's a BMW 3 Series,
Okay. What year?
2011.
Okay.
So we pull up, not realizing that I have the laptop in the back of the car. Hand
He
the
just moved it when he got in the car.
I know, but I
but
totally-
your memory didn't last from then. Okay.
Right.
And so you
Totally
come up and what
forgot.
do you do?
We get to the valet. I hand him the keys. We go into the restaurant. He hands me the ticket. We go into the restaurant. We're in the restaurant. Everything's fine. We come back out. I hand the valet my ticket. He goes, he runs and gets the car. My brother notices that the car is parked way in the back in a secluded area, like near the woods. It was a little strange.
I'm
but
sorry. How do you have a tongue?
Yes,
I need to
Your Honor.
talk to you. How do you notice that it's parked in a secluded
there
area
was-
far away?
There's no other cars around the vicinity.
All right. And then did you guys stay late maybe? Is that why there were no other cars?
No, there were many people still left in the restaurant.
Okay. But their cars weren't there?
Where the car was parked, there was none in the back row. It was like in the last row of the parking lot where the valet parks their cars.
Okay.
And there was dozens of spots back open where the car was parked.
And did that strike you as strange?
It didn't at the moment, and then when we found out what had been missing, I
Okay.
put two and two together.
So you get the car and you don't look for your stuff.
No,
You don't notice your stuff missing
I
until
didn't
later.
notice anything because the car interior is black, the bag is black, it's late at night. Everything in front of the car, the radar detectors, anything.
$4,000 worth of stuff is what you're claiming is missing.
Right.
You don't look to see
It didn't even
When-
occur to me that somebody would steal your you know what I mean? It didn't occur to
It
me
didn't
that this
occur to you
would,
that somebody might steal a laptop.
no, it really didn't.
Okay. All right. So you get your car, and what do you do next?
I take the car home. I park in the driveway. I live in a cul-de-sac. The car automatically locks the second you walk away from it, so you can't say that the doors were unlocked or anything like that. It was in the driveway. That was it for the night. The next morning, I wake up, I'm going to study again. I go out to the car before we're going to church, and I notice the bag is missing. Frantically, I start trying to figure out, okay, where could it have been? It was there the night before, now it's gone. I call up the restaurant. I reported that the laptop was stolen. It had my books in it and calculator. They said, okay, we'll get in touch with the valet company and, see what happened. We're sitting down to breakfast, we're waiting for the call, and we're talking, and my mother turns around and she said, did you check anything else? So I said, no, I didn't. So now I'm looking in the whole entire car, looking if there were scratches, anything to see if there was any sign of break-in. There are no scratches, there's no sign of break-in. I open the trunk is completely clear, wiped out, and my trunk is a mess. I had 35 softball t-shirts. I'm a softball coach.
Why did you have 35 softball t-shirts?
Those were my team shirts. We hadn't given them out yet. We had just ordered them. I had the going green bags for the supermarket. You name it, it was in there. Everything was just stripped. It was as if someone just went like this, threw everything in the bag and just left.
Out of curiosity, when you realize that when you feel that someone has stolen your stuff, why wouldn't you check your trunk?
I didn't even
But that's
think
the only
that you
other
would.
thing for you to do.
You're absolutely right. But
Right.
I didn't even think that
All right, what's going
they
on?
would go
What's
that
going on?
far.
My name is Andres, Your Honor. We received a call for a gentleman, Mrs. Jessica Wall's father, to the office, claiming the laptop missing last night. It was like at noon when his father called, and she never called. The first call for the claim was his father. So the person that get that call, he tell him the process, we're gonna make he
Who
taking
parked
up-
your car?
We
Do
have
you
two
know who parked
attendants.
your car? There's two possible people.
We have two attendants been working most of 5 years in the same place,
Okay.
Friday and Saturday. They just tell us that they don't remember, that they don't touch nothing.
Can you really ever win a case against a valet?
It'd be very difficult unless you had somebody or a couple of others that witnessed it. It would be very, very hard to.
So how do you protect yourself with a valet? How do you protect yourself? Either of you two.
I protect myself by locking up my things in the glove compartment or the trunk and give the valet the spare key so they can't get in it.
Or you don't put valuable
Or
stuff.
I don't put valuable stuff in the car.
Got your point. Going inside.
What do you do when somebody accuses your employees of that? Do you do polygraphs? What do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Diego. I'm one of the manager. I'm the
Right.
site manager of that area in particular.
Okay.
When somebody claim missing item, the company called the police, the local police, right away to have police report.
And did that happen here?
No, because
Why not?
they called the next day. They left the site. They call on Sunday afternoon. Her father called, make the claim to
Oh,
the
you mean
office.
you call the police if they tell you right on
Correct.
site?
Once at the site,
Okay, but if they've left the site, then
We have to investigate, Your Honor.
right. So you
yeah,
don't call the police
no.
if they left the site and call you the next day and tell you that things are
We
missing.
called those two guys. We got a formal report at the office that we submitted to our insurance company. And sometimes we do take polygraphs test. In this case, we didn't. I hired those two guys by myself 6 years ago. They've been working my coworker
Have you ever had
says.
complaints against those two guys in the past?
Nah.
You don't leave the keys in the car, obviously.
No,
You
we
take
have
the
a
keys-
key box that hold 200 keys. We got that by the entrance. And also, we do park a little far away the cars because the front they reserve for self-parking. If she didn't want to valet, they have option to self-park their car. And that far away area that he mentioned to us is the area that they assign
So
us
that's
to
not
use.
suspicious to you?
No,
those
because
are
that's the
spots
only
outside,
area.
yeah.
That's the only area that we're allowed to use. But you can see from the restaurant.
And the point that we denied that case in the office after, I believe, a month or two, that we
Denied the claim.
Denied the claim, is because it was too weird from us. The 44 items missing from the car.
44 items?
44 items.
Okay.
I have the police report here.
Can I see the police report?
with all the items that she
How is
missed.
your Apple MacBook $3,000?
With all the software and everything that was in it.
2 books are $200? Wow. And a calculator, Texas Instrument calculator. All right. Is there a ticket you give?
Yes,
to
I
you?
have a copy
Let me
of the
see
ticket.
the ticket that you give.
And you can read there saying in the big letters that, one moment, we are not responsible for any items left in the vehicle unless checked with the management. Please remove all valuables. That's the ticket that she get on hand.
Right. Now that's usually on a valet. You know, that's standard on these valet
standard.
tickets because they don't want to have this situation that's happening right now. You know, the real problem that you have is obviously that you're off-site when you discover it. And I know that you're saying, well, with my model of BMW, when I walk away with the keys, it locks. The thing that isn't accounted for is if you don't walk away with the keys, if you leave your keys in the car, I'm not suggesting this is the case, but you need to understand that you've left yourself open for the variable that you might have left your keys in the car overnight. And that's when bad things happen to your car. But once you leave the site and $4,000 worth of merchandise isn't checked for before you leave the site when you've handed your car to somebody, it's a really tough road for you to prove that they stole it. Their employees stole it. How is it I'm going to look at them and say, nope, she's proven it. The employees stole it. When you don't even discover it until, all these many hours after the event. That's where your problem lies. I know you feel it in your gut, but you feeling it in your gut does not translate to a $4,000 judgment in court. To say nothing of the waiver of liability with leaving valuable goods in there and everything else, even putting that to a side, to be able to say that their employees stole it, it makes it really, really tough. My verdict in this case is for the defendants.
Well, it's one thing to claim the items are missing, and it's a whole nother thing to actually come into court and actually prove it to a judge. What's your reaction to this?
I'm pretty disappointed in the results of the case because, she didn't let me finish. But when I had spoken to the assistant over the phone, she had blamed the college students in the area for the missing items. But I didn't get to tell
even
that part of it.
even that, I don't know if that's proof either.
You're right.
So unfortunately, you just have to get yourself another laptop.
Yes.
All right. Good luck with everything. All
Thank
right.
you.
Head right down this way. All right. So step on in here, sir. And how are you feeling coming out of the courtroom now?
We're feeling very good, like us, because we proved to the owner that we don't have to be responsible for those.
Well, you have that disclaimer on your ticket, which you think covers you in all circumstances?
Yes, sir. And like maybe she's like a little disorganized and she don't know where exactly all the other stuff, but it's no. We try to avoid that we have paying those missing stuff from
Let's
her
see
car.
if that disclaimer does cover you in all circumstances, Harvey.
Kurt, these disclaimer tickets are absolutely enforceable. If your car gets damaged, back of those tickets say that they're not responsible for negligence. Even if they're negligent, they are not responsible for the damage to your car.